Salute to all the Patreon members. Want to thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to me. Salute to all the new viewers, all the subscribers. Thank you so much. It's been a couple of weeks. Last time I heard from you guys, the last time you heard from me was a couple of weeks ago when I was actually in the Dominican Republic. Now, for those that don't know, I've either been traveling or living abroad for the last 17 years. All right. I have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience with other cultures. I've been an entrepreneur, a student, and a worker, and a visitor in multiple different countries. All right. So if you guys can do me a favor, please hit that like button, share this video. Let's get into it. So let me give an announcement. I'm going to try to go back to the DR at the end of this month. If not, I'll definitely be back in the DR next month in March. You know, I got to spin the block again. I like the DR. All right. Salute to Scant Dollar. What's happening? What's happening? All right. So today we're going to compare the Dominican Republic and Thailand. Okay. I don't really have that much experience to compare both, but you know, I could talk about, I remember my first time visiting Thailand. I remember how new, how different it looked, the culture shock. It was a very big culture shock when I first landed in Bangkok. Same thing with the Dominican Republic, but it wasn't that much of a culture shock because I'm kind of used to buildings looking the way they do, cable lines looking the way they do. Well, I say things look a tad bit different. You know, the map of the city, the map of the country, the layout of the land, it looks a little bit different when you go from a developing country to another developing country. The culture is a tad bit different, but other than that, you see a lot of similarities where you go. So it wasn't that much of a culture shock going to Panama or the Dominican Republic. You know, it almost felt like I've actually been there before when I actually have not been there before. Let me start off with Thailand. I've talked about Thailand so much on this platform, but let me talk about that. So the difference between Thailand, a place like Thailand, and the DR, of course, is going to be the distance. All right. The DR is much closer. It's easier to get through the country. No hassle. Right. Get your passport stamp. Come on in the DR. Thailand, they're always changing the rules. They're regulating on how many people can enter into the country every single year. They're trying to kick a bunch of people out. They're making it more and more difficult for people to enter into the country or the kingdom of Thailand. You know, one month is like, hey, come on in. The next month, no, you need a QR code. The next month, no, you need to show that you have this much in your bank account. The next month, you need to show us that you've gotten all your shots and you're clean, and it's always something. It's always something with Thailand. All right. And if you want to extend your stay, it's going to even be a bigger hassle. All right. But the difference between Thailand and the Dominican Republic, I know y'all want to hear me talk about the women. I'll get to that shortly. But Thailand, if you're going to Bangkok, so let's compare Bangkok to Santo Domingo. That's what I should have put in the title. The difference between Bangkok and Santo Domingo, those are the two main places, the two big cities, the two big honchos, you know, out of both countries. Bangkok is more so, you know, your mind is just not stuck on nightlife and sex all day in Bangkok, right? And that depends on how thirsty you are, right? There's a lot to see and do during the day in Bangkok, okay? You can go to the reclining Buddha. You can go to, what's that other place? the palace. Um, make sure you bring your water. Make sure you're hydrated. It's very hot when you go to that palace. It feels even hotter going to that palace for some reason. Right? You go to the palace. You go to the reclining Buddha. Get yourself a massage. Um, you can go to different malls. Each mall has a different vibe to it. You can go to Siam Paragon Mall, then go right next door to Central World, then go to Icon Siam, then go to one of my favorite malls, Mega Bangna in the Bangna district. That's a really cool, chill place, especially to bring your lady. Um, then as the night cools down, you can go to a night train market. Well, actually, during the day, there's that other big market in Bangkok. I can't think of the name right now. It's on the north side of Bangkok. I can't think of that big market. Um, Somebody will write it in the chat room. You know what I'm talking about? That big market that's in Bangkok. You can go there during the day. You can cool off and go to the mall. You can eat some good food. They got good Japanese food, Indian food. The Indian food is really, really good in Bangkok. All right. You can definitely eat some Thai food. Get yourself some Korean barbecue. You can go to Korean fried chicken spots. There's a plethora of different places to eat and things to see during the day. You can go to Lumpini Park. You can ride the Chao Phraya River. You could take the river boat taxi, right? I know there was a stop I used to go to all the time in Hue Quang. It's that bridge before Esso and Sukhumvit Station, right? I forget the next train over going north, but there's like a bridge you can walk down the steps, and there's that little river, and there's like a taxi boat stop right there. So the boat will come around. You pay them a couple of baht. You can get on the boat, ride that ride. That was fun. I enjoyed that. You can go to what's that? Asiatique. It's best to go to Asiatique at night, right? So Asiatique, you can go to Asiatique, eat at the restaurants. I don't know if now they brought back, all the little small business owners, the shops that they had over there. Hopefully they did. You could ride the Ferris wheel, right? You can go to a night train market at night. You can go to the club, and then if you want to, if you really want to, meet some ladies, those kind of ladies, women of the night, go to the red light district. You can go to Soy Cowboy over there by Terminal 21. You can go to Nana Plaza. That's the main spot, right? You could go to Khao San Road, right? There's a lot of things to do and see and to enjoy during the day and at night in Thailand. You can go to the movies. The movies is definitely an experience that you don't want to miss out on when you go to Thailand. Those are some of the most exotic, well-designed movie theaters I've ever been to, right? Pick one. The best ones, Siam Paragon and Icon Siam, right? Go to M Quartier. They have many different cafes inside of that mall. That's very nice. A nice grocery store in the basement area. They have like an outside garden. I know in that garden they have a Starbucks. It was better before they built that Starbucks there. It's a real nice place to chill, hang out, talk with somebody one-on-one, read a book, just look out into the city. I used to hang out there all the time, M Quartier, just let my mind escape. I could go on and on and on. All right. But there's a lot of things to do and see besides just your mind focused on women in Bangkok. I know that's what a lot of people like to talk about a lot, but there's a lot of things to see and do in Bangkok besides just think about women. In Santo Domingo, um, you know, I stayed over in the PNTN area. Some of the things to do, it's like the malls. When you come from Bangkok to Santo Domingo, the malls just they're not appealing to you. You're just like, yeah, whatever. Okay. it, it's if I need something from over here, I'll get it over here. Other than that, this isn't the hangout spot. It's a mall to get what you need, buy what you want, and then get out. All right. Um, you go over to the Zona Colonial, the Colonial Zone. You know, you go to the museums, you walk around, take a good look at the people, record some videos, take pictures. It feels like Costco Viejo a little bit, even though I like Costco Viejo more in Panama City. Learn about the culture, take some photos, learn about the history of the DR, and that's about it, right? I could talk about the beaches, but the beaches, that's in a different town. That's in a different city. We're focused on Santo Domingo and Bangkok. All right. Santo Domingo was just one of those spots where it's nice, it's cool. You got your cigar lounges. You can find things to do over there as well. Right. But your mind can get distracted. Right. There's a lot of ass in Santo Domingo. Right. It's ass on the motorbikes. It's ass riding on the back of the motorbike taxis. They got motorbike taxis in Bangkok also, but there ain't no ass in the back. There might be some nice legs, but in the DR, there's a woman riding on the back of a motorbike bike taxi rider. She got her little bonnet on. See, the bonnets that they wear in Latin America is like a hairnet. They got their little bonnet on. They got a lot of ass. It might be a torta. It might not be. It might be a slim woman. But there's ass on the back of that motorbike. Right? You can easily get distracted. Yes, you walk around. It's nice. I love, you see certain parts that got palm trees. You can go to parks. When they talk about passport bros in a negative light, they act like some of these guys just go to one place just for sex and they don't look at anything else. That's not true, because if that were the case, they would go to Saskatchewan in Canada, where there's nothing over there besides some of the freakiest women you want to meet in your life. Brothers walk around and explore also, right? Santo Domingo is cool. It's a better place to live or to visit for a while, for a month, 2 months, then get back to it, right? It's one of those places where you can go out and, they don't need a whole bunch of distractions like Bangkok in order to draw you in. The people are warm. I met some nice people in the DR. They're cool. I didn't meet any rude people. I met some the women were respectful towards me. I chopped it up with a couple brothers also. They were cool. So it's more of the people that draws you towards the DR. Whereas like Thailand, it's more of, the mall, the lights, the red light district, right? The massage parlors, the food, the riding the boat at night, the exotic looking malls, just all the bright lights and but when it gets down to it, remember, I've lived in Thailand. I lived in Thailand from 2014 to 2022. Right? The people there, it's tough to connect with people. It is not easy connecting with people in Thailand. It's not. The only time people feel like, oh, they're nice, they're friendly, they're cool, most of the time these are visitors and they're trying to spend their money. So they're not worried about connecting with people long term over there. They're trying to get the best service for their money. So when you go to tourist spots in Thailand, right? You go to tourist spots and it look like you got money, you ready to spend your money. Then that's when you see a certain group of people. Once their shift is over, right? Or once you move into the neighborhood, or once you just like, hey, no, I just want to stop and have a conversation. It's like, all right, well, get lost, beat it, right? What the fuck do you? How many times have I gotten on it on this channel right here, and I've told you guys how many times the women that I've matched with on dating apps or in person, you know, you're asking questions to get to know them. They only giving one word answers, and then all of a sudden they just snap. Right? What do you want? Why do you keep on asking me questions? Why do you keep on asking me questions? You asking me about, you know, my name, what do I do for a living, my age, and what the fuck? You the cops? Am I the cops? Yeah, you asking me all these interrogating questions. Ma'am, I'm just trying to get to know you. This is a date, right? This is a dating app, right? Yeah, but you asking me all these questions, you know, are you the police? Damn. I used to get that a lot in Thailand, right? Dating was terrible in Thailand. The only way you could really like move things forward in Thailand is if, you know, I hate to put it this way, but it's like, hey, man, if you have your money, you get a time slot, you got your money, come through, get it in, goodbye. Right? That's pretty much the only time. And anything long term, it was an uphill battle. You got to really deal with those level of emotions, right? A lot of reactions that I got from different women in Thailand, I didn't expect it. You know how when you tell a joke, if you tell a joke in America, you know, okay, I know this is gonna land, right? I'm in line at the grocery store, and let's say there's a Caucasian person in front of me and they want to turn around and speak to me. I already know they're gonna have some jokes, right? Some dry humor, you know, ha 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 ha, laugh it off. Move on, hey, you know, you have a good day. Take care. What's your name? Bob. Nice to meet you, Bob. Take care. See you around sometime, Bob. You already know what to expect. Rinse and repeat. Right? I know when I bring up this topic, I know I could pull this emotion out of certain people. Or if I land with this, I already know what the response is going to be. Or if I open up with this, I know what the response is going to be. That's not the case in Thailand, right? In Thailand, you didn't know what people were going to get offended. You know, you didn't know what you were going to say that was going to offend people, right? Anything offends them. You ask them questions about themselves just to get to know them, they get offended, right? Not everybody, but a lot. It happened too often, right? You ask women, hey, do you have any kids? A lot of these women, they would get offended. You're trying to get to know me. We're on a dating app. You're trying to get to know me. And a lot of women, the reason why they would get offended is because you're trying to use the dating app to date. They're trying to use the dating app to get money. So it's like, why are you asking me about kids if I'm on here just trying to get money? You know, there was a lot of working women on dating apps, in Thailand, but at the time I was trying to date. It was very hard to connect and have conversations with women in Thailand. Whereas the Dominican Republic, in Santo Domingo, they might not have a lot of the glitz and glamour and the flash. They might not have all the things that Thailand has to offer, but they do have, I would say, better quality people, better quality women. It was just much better women. I matched with a lot of women, FaceTime with a lot of women. Most of the time, the conversations went well. I think the best conversations I had with women in the DR were Haitian women. Haitian women, they speak English, French, and Spanish, right? Way better communicators. I'm still working on my Spanish. And of course, there's a lot of women that, the way they live in, they need help. And, it's kind of like, hey, you taking time out of my day to come spend time with you. How long are you going to be here? And they think, okay, if you're going to be there for a week, they think that you expect them to be there with them for a week. And that might not be your thing, but it's like you taking them away from school, work, or potential to make money or get educated. That's kind of taking time out of their day. Some women, they expect a parting gift. Some women don't. Some women, they just like you for you, right? They come at you with a different angle. They come at you with hey, whatever you want to do, I'm down to do it. I'm just a submissive woman that's just, tell me where to go, tell me what to do, I'm there for you. There's some women like that. Of course, they don't expect to just leave all the time empty-handed. They expect other type of support and care as well. But for the most part, I think it's just better quality women mentally. The conversation flows better in the DR. All right. A lot of these women, even if you match with somebody that's not in Santo Domingo, like I said, they'll travel from another city by bus to come see you. Even if it's 2-3 hours, they'll travel. Not 100% of the women, but most women, like, hey, Poppy, if you just take care of the bus ride, break me off with a little something, right, then I'll be there. Much better. Much better than Thailand, right? Thailand, it's like you got to spend extra money to fly even farther. You waste an entire day of traveling to get over to a place. Now you're jet lagged to be around, especially if you guys aren't paying, to be around just irritable women all day, right? Especially if you stay in Bangkok, right? It's a little bit more expensive. Most of the women, they're monetized and, they got bills to pay. Most of the women in Bangkok, they're not from Bangkok. They're from a small town out in the countryside. They moved there and they're trying to make it, right? And here you are, you want them to kick it with you, and it's kind of like, all right. Some women, like I mentioned before, some women, it's good to approach women saying, hey, I got something for you. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. I got something for you. Don't worry about it. It's best to approach most, if not all women like that wherever you go. Because some of these women, they kind of, they got one foot in and one foot out. They think they're better than other women because they're not doing this 24/7. Like, hey, I got more morals. I got a job, right? I'm trying to make it the right way, the moral way. But, I still like a guy to give me a little bit of money sometime, even if we're not together like that. That's how a lot of these women think. No matter where you go in these developing countries, and here you come through ready to spend money, and it's like you spending money on everything but them. Some of these women, yeah, they want to eat, but it's like, damn, you trying to get me fat. And then you leave without giving them no money. So like, okay, damn, you took me to the movies. You took me to the restaurant. You took me to Lumpini Park. I sweated my ass off for you. I went to the club. Yeah, you bought me drinks, but none of the things that you paying for ended up in my pocket. I came back home with $0 in a home where they have no AC, right? This woman lives in a home with no AC, shares a room with her brothers and sisters, and she come back home with no money, and she kicked it with you for an entire week, right? I think it's kind of selfish when guys go over there with that mindset, right? See, I had a totally different mindset when I lived in Thailand, because it's like, well, I have all that to offer without giving you money because I live here. But a lot of women and a lot of guys will tell you this. A lot of women were uninterested in men that said that they lived in Bangkok. Women in Thailand. So this goes back to what I said earlier. Women that give you unexpected reactions. Like, okay, this woman's probably going to be even more interested in me once she finds out I'm just not some tourist who's here for a week to use her and leave. I actually live here and I could be a provider and show her that. No. They become uninterested. They don't like that. A lot of guys will tell you that. I didn't really get that reaction in the DR, right? I don't live there. I didn't tell anybody I plan on living there. I said, hey, you know what? I like this place. I see myself here. But they were interested in when I was coming back. There were some women that said, hey, look, you know, I'm on your team. Don't worry about it. I'll be right here once you get back. Blase, blase, blase. I still keep in touch with them to this day. Right? You know, every morning I receive messages from about 6 or 7 different women in the DR. You know, Thailand, I feel like it's been there, done that. It's been oversaturated. It was oversaturated when I first got there. Right now, these TikTokers over there, hey, it's a wrap for Thailand. It's not even fun going over there no more. To go there and to go through everything I just told you while going through the immigration line, and then if you stay there long term, to keep going back to immigration every 90 days, that's an experience I don't ever want to go through ever again. That's why it was such a relief when I moved out of Thailand and I moved to Taiwan. I didn't have to deal with immigration like that. They got one immigration building for the whole country, and it stays empty. It stays empty. And they don't do this whole, okay, every 30 days, check in with your address. And then since you got a student visa, your first year, you got to check in every 6 months. We got to check your grades. No. So in a year, you go into the immigration office 4 times a year. No. In Taiwan, you go to that immigration office once every 2 years. All right. So look, let me get back on track. The DR. The DR, I want to say this. I still got more exploring to do from what I see in the DR. Let's say, comparing the women, of course, the DR, they got the better bodies that I like. More women are monetized in Thailand because, it's just so many foreigners going over there. So that slim build that a lot of men like, that's there and available, especially if Asian women are your preference. It's there and available. It's just, you know, dealing with uh uh dealing with women with a scatterbrain like that. They just have a scatterbrain mindset in Thailand. I can't do that anymore. You never know what they're thinking. Well, not that I'm trying to figure out what somebody's thinking, but you never know what their reaction's going to be. You never know what they're going to do next. Overly emotional and offended by everything. That doesn't, my time, that doesn't give me a smooth. I just didn't like dealing with the women long term in Thailand like that. Right? You really got to spend money to put everybody's mind at ease in Thailand. All right. But Santo Domingo, in comparison to Panama City, I'd have to give the women in Panama City, I would have to say they look better, not because Panamanian women look better than Dominican women. It's because Panamanian women, they got a lot of Colombian women down there. So the Colombian women, they bring up the quality, the looks quality, they bring that up in Panama. If Colombian women never travel, if the country of Panama never let Colombian women in or Venezuelan women into the country like that, then I would have to give it to the DR. But for Panama, I got to give the looks. I got to give them more of a one-up than the Dominican Republic. But Dominican women, there's a lot of good-looking women over there as well. Cooperative. They'll pull up to where you're at. The women that I met, submissive. They were kind of slow. Okay. There's a lot of dunce caps in the Dominican Republic. Right? There was a lot of women that were slow out there. Hopefully I meet up with, women that hopefully I meet up with a lot of with more women who, the light bulb is on upstairs in the attic, with the women in the DR. I'm not saying there was no light upstairs in the brains of women in the DR, but it's a very dim light, right? It's a dim light way in the back, right? It's a night light way in the back, and you got to move shit around to see it. We're going to try Bangkok in October already. Been to Phuket now. I'm not sure. Man, forget about Thailand. It's not even worth it no more. I'm done with Thailand. Will I go back to Asia? Yes, because I have to. I'm writing a book, and I need to go back to Korea one more time. All right, I like Korea, and it's changed for the better over the years, but I have to go back to Korea. But Thailand, save your money. Save your money. But see, the thing is, Thailand, it can be fun, right? There are places in Asia in general where it's fun. Like Hong Kong, that's fun. Thailand can be fun. Korea can be fun. Japan can be fun. Taiwan, if you know where to go, it can be fun. If you know where to go and what to do, it can be fun. But in Latin America, see, it's almost like you can't even compare Latin America to Asia. It's apples and oranges. Because places like the DR, you know, if you like going to the beach, go to DR, right? They have these beach parties over there that I've seen. I didn't get to go to them because this one city, it's south of Punta Cana. I can't remember the name of it, but I saw like they had a real nice beachfront, lots of reviews. I saw the pictures. They had a DJ, the beach, it wasn't too overcrowded. They had enough people there. It seemed like they were partying and having a good time over there. That's what the Dominican Republic, that's the vibe that it has. That vibe is not even in Panama. Panama, the coast looks like shit in Panama City. The coast looked like shit. The coast looks like the inside of a Porta-John. You go to the Intercontinental Hotel, they say, hey, do you want the city view or do you want the ocean view? You better not choose that ocean view because you're going to wake up in the morning and open up them blinds and look down and see nothing but bowel movement. You're going to see a low tide water with nothing but shit seeping up from the water on that coast. That's why there's that wall. They put a bunch of like these rocks in between where the tide meets, and then there's a wall. So if you jump over the wall, you're going to be around, like, you stepping on a bunch of rocks, and if somebody sees you over there, it's like, what the hell is he doing over there? They're going to notify the police. They're going to arrest you and get you up out of there. Right? It's the coast isn't made for you to walk. There's no sand, anything. It's like, no, don't go over there. Fuck that water. Right? Whereas like the DR, that's one of their attractions that they have. The beach parties, Sosua, Santiago's real nice. Right? It's natural beauty. They don't really push for its natural beauty in Panama City like that unless they got this little island that they got. You got to get on a boat tour to go over there. So it's more controlled. You're not just free to walk along the coast. That's not a tourist attraction in Panama City. Right? But they offer that in the DR. Another thing about the DR is like the nightlife is great. Nightlife is cool. They got their own music. They got their own culture. Well, I mean, it's a carbon copy of ours. Don't get it twisted. It's a carbon copy of Black American culture. But you can catch a baseball game. There's a lot of cool people in the DR, right? And almost, you go to the DR, you almost feel like you're at home. You don't really have that feeling in Thailand. They don't make you feel at home. It's very uncomfortable. You see that line for all the Thais that they can walk through. As soon as they get off the plane, they're in and out. right? That line is empty for the ties to, go up to an officer, check in, tap in like, hey, I'm a Thai national. Oh, okay, welcome home. But for you, you got to go through that snake line. It's going to take you about 2 hours to get through that on certain days. And be like, hey, what you doing here? What you doing here? How long you going to be here? Do you have your reservation? How much money you got in your bank account? Show me. All right. All right, cool. We'll let you in, but make sure your bitch ass get up out of here in 30 days. You're like, damn. All right. You waiting outside for a taxi. Hey, come on. I got you. Where you want to go? Yeah, take me to Hoi Kwong. Yeah, that'll be 3,000 baht. 3,000 baht. It's more like 400 baht. I'm gonna go to somebody else. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Come back. I'm sorry. Nah. You trying to hustle me? You trying to? No. Okay. I'm sorry. Nope. They follow you all the way to the next taxi. Sir, please, sir. I'm sorry. Excuse me. They drive you all the way to Hoi Kwong. Right? All right, let me relax and go to the mall. I need to buy some drawers. You walk into that mall, you go to Central Ramadan Mall. You're like, damn, that's a big mall. You walk up into that mall, they handing everybody flyers, and then when your black ass come, walking through, they raise their hand up like, nope, I'm not giving you a flyer. Here you go. They handing out flyers for coupons and discounts, right? Promotions to everybody white and Asian, not you. Like, hey, how come you don't give me one? You go over to Robinson, everybody sitting around texting. They look at you like, yeah, whatever. Like, damn. I don't get no help. Where the drawers at? Right? You got to search high and low by yourself, no help. Right? Hey, where the drawers at? I don't work in that department. Go ask somebody else. Like, damn. Right? But because you're not in the tourist area. You go to the tourist area, walk down Khaosan Road. Man, if there's a family of white people that are walking down Khaosan Road, you got people butt dancing and doing a bus stop and a boogaloo to get them white people to go into their restaurants over there. They done blew up a beach ball. They having everybody, hey, pass the beach ball around. Yeah. They got people hyping up everybody in the restaurant. They playing games. They playing double dutch. They playing music. They butt dancing. Cutting the jig. Shucking and jiving. When they see groups of white people walking down that mall, walking down that strip, as soon as they see your black here, they turn around. It's a heavy sigh. Oh, what do you want? What do you want? Nah. We're not dancing for you. Nah. You can ask anybody that's walked down Calzone Road. You like, damn. You go to these restaurants, they cut a jig for white people. Soon as somebody like a large black family or African family walk down there, they throw the menu at them. Like, here, you sit yourself down. Yeah, we'll find somebody. Hey, y'all motherfuckers ready to order yet? No, god damn. like shit. So it's like, it's cool. It's nice. You know, Thailand is one of them places where you reap the benefits of what it has to offer when you live there, but living there, it's a hassle, even for people who are married that have kids there. They don't make it they invite foreigners to come there, but they don't make it comfortable for you to stay that long. And then when you got to think about going back over there again, it's like, damn, do I really want to go through that again? And nowhere for anybody that's a foreigner is a flight, you know, that close. Like, even if you're in the UK, that's still a long flight. What is that, like 10 or 11 hours? 12 hours? That's still a very long flight. You know, even for people in Australia, that's still kind of a long flight, right? So nobody in a Western nation, a Western world where Thailand is that close, and to be going through all that, it's still a good experience to have said, yes, I've been there, I've seen it, it's cool. But that's one of them places where, you know, you live in Korea, you live in Japan, and then you go visit Thailand every once in a while. That's the thing about Thailand, right? It's a good place to visit when you live somewhere else in Asia, but you know, you live somewhere in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, or in America, Canada, and you visit Thailand, it's a long, long flight to be experiencing all that. I know some guys, they visit there every 2-3 months, and you know, these guys, they go straight to Batai and they don't pay. And it's like, you're wasting a lot of your time, and then you come back with some of the most horrendous stories I've ever heard in my life. The stories you come back with, it's like, it's not the stories you come back with to be traveling over there that much. It's not worth it, especially for a long ass flight like that, right? And you need like 2 weeks. You need 2 weeks just to go to Thailand, right? You can't just, hey, I got a week off, I'm gonna go to Thailand. No, because you gotta take out like 48 to 50 hours of traveling. Whereas a DR, like a 6-hour flight, you know, I'm there. You still got more time throughout the day to do what you need to do. Like I told you, when I landed in the DR, old girl pulled up 10 minutes later. She pulled up on me 10 minutes later. I didn't even have my shit unpacked yet. Right? I'm like, damn, let me take a shit. Let me get some water. Let me pass gas first, something. Give me some time. But you know, but Dominican women, and then some women, you know, they'll fall off. They'll get upset, right? But when you show up, they'll hit you up, or you can still hit them up and be like, hey, look, I got that 200 for you if you want it. I'm here. Well, all right, then I'll be there, right? Because some women, they're going to try you and ask for money before you even show up, right? Because it's hard living out there. Like I said, I don't mind, but 6-hour flight, I suggest wherever you are, especially me, I'm in Texas, so I don't I wouldn't suggest taking first class over to the DR. Um, it's not worth it. I did that a couple weeks ago. It's not worth it. The only difference between economy and first class, it was an extra seat. That was it. It was an extra seat on your aisle and a raggedy ass curtain that separated first class and economy. The food was nasty. Just take economy. Just take economy and relax. That's it. It's best to take first class to Panama on United than American Airlines to the DR. That was better. But, you can find you flights for like 400, 500, 600 for me in economy. So I was paying 1,800. You know what I'm saying? So flights are cheaper because flights going to Panama, if you want a direct flight, that's like 1,200, even in economy. That's like 12, 1,400. Right. So Dominican Republic flying economy is cheaper. It takes a little bit longer to go over there than Panama, but it's cheaper. And, I feel comfortable, a little bit more comfortable being around the women in the DR than in Thailand. To get on a flight and to fly all the way over there for Thai women, to me, it's not worth it. Right. If you're going to fly all the way to Thailand, you better be paying. Right. You better be paying for the services from women over there. Right. To waste that much time to think you're going to get, something for free from women over there, you batshit crazy. You out of your fucking mind. All right. But as soon as I landed back in in Texas, I was already thinking about, plotting and planning my next flight, going back to the DR. I haven't been matching with anybody because it's best to match with women, at least a week, maybe 2 weeks prior to your flight. But don't even worry about, like, if I'm going there in a couple weeks or next month, I'm not gonna match with anybody. All right. I'm not meeting up with nobody who's over 25, 26 in the DR. And if I am, you better know how to throw down and cook. If you're not cooking, I'm not meeting up with you. I have very high standards. You know what I'm saying? I am not meeting up with you if you're not cooking. Right? If you're over, you can get away with not cooking if you younger than, like, if you're 23 and younger, between 18 and 23. Because at least, like, I really don't have time to be learning and remembering all these recipes. I got to find myself. I got to, graduate college. I got to find a job. There's a lot of things I got to do, and I'm cute. I'm young. It's still tight. I'm still wet. I got a lot of things on my mind. Hormones are still raging. Yeah, but if you 30, shit is kind of loose. You slow down. Your knuckles are very big. Your feet look weathered, right? You probably got a kid or two. You better know how to cook. One chick, I was going to meet up with her, and she had a kid. I said, hey, I want you to cook a dish for me. She was like, nah, I don't be cooking like that. I blocked her. I said, nah, I don't want to meet up with you. How the fuck you not cooking like that and you got a son, right? You got a son. You're a mother. You don't be cooking like that. Yeah, I just be cooking simple. I just be making simple shit like sandwiches and shit. Nah, get your bitch ass out of here. No, very selfish. And you got a son? No. You do him like that, you're gonna do me even worse. You got to do more than just lay on your back and have communications with me. Like you gotta know how to throw down a little bit, right? I don't want no lazy broad around me. You could be lazy if you like 19, 20 years old. You know, that one chick I had, the first chick that I had come over to the room, she didn't really have no conversations. She was just one of them girls like, hey, look, I'm just quiet, submissive. Tell me what you want to do, daddy. You know, tell me, talk. You could talk with me about anything. Tell me what you want to do, where you want to go. I'm following you. You want to go back to the room and just fuck all day. We could do that. You want to go to a baseball game? We could do that. You want to go to a museum? We could do that. You want to talk about something? We could do that. Whatever. Right? And the chick, she was like, hey, look, you got a kitchen and you got some food there. I'll cook for you. I'll throw down for you. But I didn't have a kitchen in my room. I didn't stay at the Candlewood Suites. Candlewood Suites, they got a stove in the room. Intercontinental and Holiday Inn, they don't have stoves in the room. Right? The young girl wanted to cook, but you not willing to cook. So no, I don't what I need you for. You think I'm flying all the way over to get excited about, hitting weathered cootie cat? No, it's weathered. It's worn. Right? It's so I'm good. I'm good. Gotta be something special about you. If you like 28 and over, I'm gonna just let you learn the hard way. Right? It's a wrap. Right? These young women, they know what to do. But Thailand it's there's some women like they're cool for a little while, but I think all women are bipolar, right? Um, Even women that I was with off and on in Thailand, they was kind of bipolar. Everything bothered them, you know. One day they just wake up on the wrong. I mean, just kind of like women in America, but worse. And the shit that they whine and complaining about, it's just like, man, I don't have time for this at all. Just coming up with shit to be upset about. It's way different than it is in America. And then there's so many women that are available in Thailand. It's like, well, I don't need to deal with all that. But shit can go wrong. Shit can kind of go left at the drop of a hat in Thailand. Whereas like things kind of go steady and smooth in the DR. Thailand, a lot of brothers, they brag about some of the raggediest women ever. Man, look, I'm in 808. I'm in Flex. Look, shit. I get it for free. Look what I got over here. This woman, her whole chest is covered in tattoos. Right? She done fucked everybody who done walked through that club in the last 10 years. And that's who he's bragging about. He's about to marry her. He done already bought her a ring. I've seen guys get on one knee and try to marry the women out of Pattaya. I'm like, brother, you all the way remedial. All right. You rode the short bus with a harness. They didn't let you sit with the other slow kids. You had to be strapped to the wall in the back. You yelling and screaming like what's that dude called on Elijah Thornberry? In the back, strapped with a harness on the short bus. That's who they are. I don't want to be in that environment where brothers are getting down on one knee for the women in Pattaya. Are you crazy? She don't even know what's going on. You getting down on one knee. She don't even know what's going on. She high on meth, pills, and drunk at the same time. You brothers disgust me. Bragging about how you get all that for free. Shit, I don't be paying. I don't know what he talking about. He just ain't got no game. I remember I saw this one dude. He was African. He had to be like 6'8". The chick he was arguing with, she was like taller and fatter than me. She had to be like 6'4". And she slapped the shit out of him and was yelling at him in front of everybody, in front of Flex. I'm like, damn, brother, this is the best you can do? It looked like she showed up in her nightgown with her sandals on and slapped the dog shit out of him. I was like, this is the best you could do? Women like her, they look at you and they look at you as like you're beneath them because in their culture, like, I've already explained it. She too big. The average Thai guy don't want her. She too tall. You're too tall and too big. So the best you can get is somebody African. And they're very mad and upset about that, but they know you're desperate and thirsty. So they talk to you and treat you all kind of way. And you bragging everybody back home, hey, shit, I got me a Thai woman. And this bitch looked like BJ from Barney with a nightgown on. So I wish I could show pictures and videos, but I can't. I'm on my iPad. My laptop is fucking up. But I got my Nook. Y'all know what a Nook is, right? I like Nooks more. I don't even want to deal with, when it comes to Apple, I only fuck with the phone and the iPads and the Apple Watch. That's it. Laptop, I'm done with Apple laptops. I'm done with laptops from Apple. Like when it comes to like portability, using a computer, taking it where I need to go, I'll just use a Nook, right? And they're more powerful and they're cheaper, right? So the build is better. The quality is better. The power of the CPU and the RAM and the graphics card is much better in a Nook. You get you a Nook for like $1,400, $1,500. Right? With a 40 series NVIDIA card, Intel processor. You buy one of these fucking Apple laptops, they telling you what kind of chip is in there. You can't even reference the chip to nothing. It's like, what does that mean to me? Yeah, this laptop, it got the new M6 chip in it. Okay. What does that mean to me? Yeah, it got this exclusive Apple graphics card that's in there. And it's like, I don't understand the power behind it. You can game on it. Which games, though? You can run Logic on it. You can run Ableton on it. You can overclock it. You could do this. You could do that. all for the price of $6,000. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. I could do all that plus more with a Nook for $1,400. You get you one of these $4,000 MacBook Pro laptops, you can barely run Stardew Valley on it. You can barely run solitaire on it. And it's you like, damn, I paid $4,000 for this. Six months later, they want you to upload the new iOS software. It'd be iOS Jaguar. They name it after like animals and cats. iOS Yeti, iOS Abominable Snowman. You're like, okay, let me install the new operating system on here. That shit will slow your shit down. It take 10 minutes to start up your laptop. It used to take 10 seconds. Now it take 10 minutes. And it's a $4,000 laptop. No. You got to be selective with Apple. So that's why I'm on an iPad. I can't show pictures and videos on here. But I'll be back in the DR very, very soon. I still have more exploring to do. But, you know, as far as what I've seen, between, I know it's about Thailand, but Bangkok is one of those places where you want to explore, you know, especially if you're there long term, you want to get out there and explore. You know, in each mall, there's a central mall everywhere. And the theme of it is always different. Some of them look better than others. And you know, it's yeah, and then now, you know what, I don't even want to bring that up. I'm not even going to bring that up, right? But you know, Airbnb is really nice. You can get something real nice on Airbnb at a very decent price in Bangkok. You know, then, you know, when you decide to stay in a neighborhood for a while, if you walk around, you might mess around and find like a nice pool hall there so you can watch the game and, you know, relax, get you some French fries, drink some beer, enjoy yourself. Thailand is cool. It's just that when it comes to, it's not that you're not going to meet nobody cool there, but don't expect relationships to last that long. You know, it's going to be quick, short, and you can have the best intentions. You can have really good intentions when it comes to meeting people. You know, you could be nice, respectful, but because they don't understand your jokes, you know, they're going to call you out your name. They're going to get offended. And they don't give you the benefit of the doubt, especially when you're black. When you're black, you know, you can be nice, friendly, showing teeth, and they'll still have something negative to say about you. Or they'll still sometimes, especially if you're not approaching the situation with money, right? Money in hand. Like, hey, look, I know you're working. What time you get off? I got, you know, 150 for you. That's about 5,000 baht for you to kick with me tonight after work and up until in the morning. They'd be like, hell yeah. That's when things go a little bit more smoothly because they're doing it for the money. But, you know, you coming through on that broke shit, free, everything you say seems like everything that comes out your mouth offends them. Right? And really, it's kind of like, get the fuck away from me. There's other guys watching. People are watching me. right? And you ain't talking about no money. Whereas like women in the DR, some women will like you for you and just want to kick it. Some women, they do like you for you. They expect you to be generous. And some women, they just about their bread, right? But guarantee you're going to get the bodies that you're looking for, right? Guarantee you're going to get, a woman with a nice BBL, a woman with a nice Coke bottle frame, a woman with some nice feet. They ain't got that webbed feet like women in Thailand do. They got webbed feet in Thailand, right? They got them pretty toes in the DR, the DR. All right. So, all right, man. It's been an hour and 11 minutes. I'm gonna get up off of here. When will I get back on? I don't know. I got to start talking more about daily news. That's what I got to do. But I won't get my hands on a computer until Friday. What's today? Monday? Yeah, Friday. Maybe Friday. Lately, I haven't done a stream in a minute because I've just been very, very, ever since I came back home, I've been moving at 100 miles an hour. I've been very, very busy. I barely had time to just sit at home and relax. I get back home, 8 hours. I got to be back on the road. Since I've been back home twice, but only stayed for a couple hours. And then I get up here and I just want to relax. So it's go, 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 go. Right. And I've been working on my book, and more creative juices have just been flowing. And I'm going to tell you the secret weapon I've been using to finish this book on Patreon. So all my Patreon members, I'm going to make a video for you guys in the morning. All right. Link in the description box below for the Patreon page. I'm over and I'm out. You guys take care. Peace.